हाँ ठीक है चला. The primary photochemical processes. See, in order to explain the deviation from the Stark-Einstein's law of photochemical equivalence, the scientist Bodenstein and other photochemists observed that the photochemical reactions doesn't follow a simple or straightforward path. That means the photochemical reactions are complicated reactions, in which means those reactions are of two types: primary photochemical processes and secondary photochemical processes. Out of that, the primary photochemical processes are nothing but the process that takes place due to actual absorption of electromagnetic radiations or actual absorption of light. That are the primary photochemical processes. Now see, in case of a primary photochemical processes, the Stark-Einstein law is valid, right? Means for primary photochemical processes, the value of a quantum yield is close to unity. Means single molecule, reacting molecule absorbs a single photon or single quanta of light, right? See, for example, the primary photochemical reactions means the reaction that is takes place due to direct exposure of a reaction system with light, and in that case, Stark-Einstein law is valid. For example, suppose you just consider the reaction, see, in which our reactant is A, right? If this is our reactant, if it reacts with an photon, that is h nu, it gives A star, right? Suppose you just consider this A star is our product, right? This A star is our product. So obviously in this case, one molecule of A reacts with h nu light, it gives A star. It is a primary photochemical process, right? And for this reaction, the quantum yield is unity. Also, the another example, suppose you just consider a diatomic molecule, that is AB, right? And see, if this diatomic molecule is reacts with a one photon or one quanta of light, then it can be dissociate, or it leads to formation of a two radicals, free radical, A radical plus B radical, right? It is a primary photochemical reaction. See, one molecule of a one molecule absorbs a one photon, it leads to formation of a product. It is a example of primary photochemical reaction. Now see, the another class of a photochemical reaction is a secondary photochemical processes. Now see, in secondary photochemical processes, what happens? The Stark-Einstein law is not valid. Means due to involvement of a secondary photochemical processes, the number of a molecule that is reacted due to absorption of a single photon is high, or it may be a low. How? The product that is formed in a primary photochemical reaction, that is A star, right? Or you can say the radical that is formed in a primary photochemical reaction, this is A radical, this is B radical. Now secondary photochemical processes means what? See, if this A radical which is formed in a primary photochemical reaction, it may react with another molecule of a C, and it leads to formation of a AC, right? So if you consider whole this reaction, see, for whole this reaction, AB plus H nu gives A star and B star is our primary photochemical reaction. See, it is a primary photochemical reaction. And see, the product of a primary photochemical reaction reacts with another molecule, and it leads to formation of another product, right? It leads to formation of another product. See, this is AC is our another product. See, these processes are called secondary processes. And see, due to involvement of these secondary processes, the quantum yield of a photochemical reaction is higher than its expected value. See, here the one molecule of AB is reacted due to absorption of a one photon, right? And one molecule of C is also reacted due to absorption of a same photon. See, due to absorption of this same photon, one product formation is there, and that product reacts with the another reactant, due to which these two molecules, see, these two molecules are getting reacted due to absorption of only single H nu. Hence, this kind of reaction have a higher quantum yield, right? Now see, there are so many reasons behind the high quantum yield and low quantum yield. We will discuss point wise those reasons. Now see, the reason for high quantum yield. What are the reasons? See, first of all, photochemical reactions are not a simple or straightforward. They are complex reaction, means they involves primary photochemical reaction also secondary photochemical reaction. And you just keep in mind, see, this secondary photochemical reaction, may takes place in dark also. See, this secondary photochemical reaction may takes place in dark also, right? It is not necessary to apply the light continuously for those photochemical reactions. Now see, while discussing the reasons, first we will discuss the reasons behind the high quantum yield. Now see, what are the possible reasons for that? First, you just keep in mind, as we know, the chemical reaction is not possible when the molecules inside the reaction system are steady or stable. They are continuously motion, they are continuously collides with each other, right? For example, you just consider our reactant A is there, and see that reactant reacts with our radiation or photon. It leads to formation of A star, right? And A star is nothing but it is a excited molecule, means the molecule that is having high energy. So during the reaction, what happens? All molecules are in continuous motion. That means they collides with each other, right? And see, to carry out any chemical reaction, the collision is necessary. So while collision, what happens? These excited molecules, see, these excited molecules gives its energy. See, these excited A molecule, suppose for example, you just consider our initial molecule is A1, right? This A1 is excited. It has sufficient energy. See, this is A1. Now see, this A1 further give its energy to the another molecule, that is A2, and see that also leads to activate the another molecule, that A2 is also activated. Further, this A2 give its energy, this A2 having higher energy, it gives its energy to the another molecule, that is A3, right? And see, it also leads to the excitation of A3 molecule. A3 molecule is also have energy, and see, and continuously this chain is going on. Means during a reaction system, one molecule absorbs the energy from a photon, it leads to the excited state, means it has a high energy. See, this reaction is completed, but it has a high energy. So if this molecule collides with another molecule, it gives its energy to the another molecule. That means that another molecule is also excited, it is also activated, and it leads to formation of a product. That another molecule also collides with the next third molecule, that molecule is also excited, it leads to formation of a product, and this chain is continuously going on. So due to this chain, see, in this picture you just observe, due to absorption of a single photon only. See, due to absorption of a single photon, the molecule A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, these n number of molecules are getting reacted, right? So due to absorption of a single photon, if 5 molecules are getting reacted, so obviously quantum yield of that reaction is increases. Why it is reacted? Because molecules are in continuous motion in a reaction system, they collides with each other. Due to that collision, see, due to that collision, the molecule which is activated give its energy to the another molecule, and that molecule is also activated, and that is also carrying out the reaction. That is the first reason. Now see, in second reason, so what happen in a primary photochemical reaction, or in a reaction, the reactant reacts with a light, it leads to formation of a product. That maybe you just consider it is our intermediate product. For example, see, the reaction is like this. Suppose B is our reactant, it leads to formation of a B star, right? And see, this B star is not our concerned product, it is an intermediate, right? And see, this B star reacts with another molecule, that is A, and it leads to formation of a product, that is AB. Now see, in this case, our first step, see, our first step is B plus H nu is equals to H nu gives B star. It is a primary photochemical processes. And see, B star plus A gives AB. It is a secondary photochemical process. Right now, see, in this case, the product which is formed in the primary photochemical process, that is B star, it acts, see, this product acts as a catalyst to carry out the secondary step. So here also in this case, this H nu, that means, single photon reacts with B, it leads to formation of a B star, which acts as a catalyst to carry out the second reaction, or which acts as a reactant to carry out the second reaction. So it leads to formation. C, due to absorption of one photon, the molecule B and molecule A both are reacted, right? In this case, the quantum yield is high. Due to absorption of a single photon, two molecules are getting reacted, B and A, right? So in certain case, the high quantum yield may be due to formation of intermediate product, and that intermediate product acts as a catalyst. Also, the third reason, most of the photochemical reactions, see, most of the photochemical reactions are endothermic in nature, but few steps in that photochemical reaction are exothermic, right? Due to exothermic nature of those photochemical reaction, it emits the energy, that is heat, and due to that energy, or the, see, due to exothermic nature of some photochemical reaction, the temperature of a reaction system is increased, and that increased temperature activates the other molecules also. That's why the quantum yield of those reaction is increased. For example, the reaction in between hydrogen and halogen having quantum yield is in the order of 10 raised to 4 to 10 raised to 6. See, such a high order of a quantum yield is there in case of a reaction in between hydrogen and halogen. We will discuss the one example. Suppose you just consider an reaction in between chlorine molecule, that is Cl2, and hydrogen H2. It leads to formation of twice HCl, right? This is the overall reaction for a reaction in between chlorine and hydrogen. So see, this is not a simple reaction, it is a photochemical reaction. Now see, if you want to understand the detailed mechanism of this reaction, for that consider, if you record an electronic spectrum of a reaction system in a continuous region, then that electronic spectrum shows that the involvement of a molecular chlorine is there. See, the involvement of a molecular chlorine is there, that means Cl2 is there. It means that, see, the first step of that reaction is when this chlorine molecule reacts with a photon, that is H nu. It leads to formation of two chlorine atom. Suppose I can say this is step first, right? And see, this is a primary photochemical reaction in which one chlorine molecule reacts with a photon. It leads to formation of a two chlorine atom, right? According to this reaction obeys the law of photochemical equivalence, and according to this reaction, the quantum yield of our reaction should be 1. But the actual and observed quantum yield for this reaction is of order 10 raised to 4 to 10 raised to 6. Such a high quantum yield is there. Now to explain that, this reaction, see, this is the overall reaction, and this is the first step of this reaction. Now if we want to understand the detailed mechanism, then this mechanism says that the chlorine atom, see, this chlorine atom which is formed in a primary photochemical processes, this is a primary photochemical process, in the step first reacts, see, it is this chlorine reacts with the hydrogen molecule, and it leads to formation of HCl plus hydrogen atom. Suppose you can say this is the second step, Cl plus H2, it leads to formation of HCl plus hydrogen atom. It is a second step, right? Similarly, sorry, here hydrogen atom only. Similarly, see, this hydrogen which is formed into a second step is further, hydrogen atom that is formed in a second step is further reacts with the another molecule of a chlorine, and it leads to formation of HCl plus chlorine atom, right? And suppose you just consider this is a third step. Now see, if you observe second step and third step, in the second step hydrogen atom formation is there, that hydrogen reacts with the another molecule of a chlorine, it leads to formation of HCl and chlorine atom. Now see, this chlorine atom further reacts with another molecule of a hydrogen. See, this chlorine atom further reacts with another molecule of hydrogen, and it leads to formation of HCl and hydrogen atom. That means there is a repetition of second step is also there. Further, the hydrogen atom that is formed further reacts with the another molecule of a chlorine atom. It leads to formation of HCl plus Cl, right? Thus continuously reaction is going on. That kind of reactions are called chain reaction, right? Thus continuously reaction is going on, and see, this reaction is proceed. In that reaction only one photon is getting absorbed by a chlorine molecule. It leads to formation of a chlorine atom. This chlorine atom further leads to formation of hydrogen atom, and this hydrogen atom further leads to formation of again chlorine atom, and this reaction is continuously going on. So due to absorption of a single photon only, number of a Cl2 and number of H2 molecules are getting reacted. See, if you do the addition of this reaction, then you can get this step, this reaction. That is a overall reaction, right? So in this case, due to absorption of a single photon only, number of a hydrogen molecule and chlorine molecules are getting reacted, and it leads to formation of a HCl. So this reaction having very high quantum yield, right? This reaction has very high quantum yield. Now see, in this case, the successive, or you can say the series of successive reactions takes place, means reaction 2 and reaction 3. The step 2 and step 3, they are repeated. Successive series of reactions takes place, right? Those kind of reactions are called chain reaction. Those kind of reactions are called chain reaction. And see, due to these chain reactions, the quantum yield of our photochemical reaction is increases. Now see, in a chain reaction, the atom which is responsible or which can propagate these chain reactions are called chain carrier. See, in second step, hydrogen, and that hydrogen is propagate the third step also, right? Similarly, the chlorine atom, this chlorine atom is propagate the second step also. So these two atoms, hydrogen and chlorine, these two atoms are called chain carrier, means the reactant or the product that propagates the chains are called chain carrier. In our case, hydrogen atom and chlorine atom are the chain carriers, right? Now see, this reactions is continuous up to what? Up to all the hydrogen molecules and chlorine molecules are used up. Means this reaction is continue until all the hydrogen and chlorine molecule in our reaction system should be finished. That should be a practical case, but that should be a expected. But actually in practical, what happen? Some terminating steps are there. Terminating step means those steps that can stop the chain of our reaction. What are the terminating steps? The termination step means, see, the hydrogen atom that is formed. See, this hydrogen atom that is formed into a second step, hydrogen atom that is formed into a second step reacts with the chlorine atom that is formed into a third step, and it leads to formation of HCl, right? It is a terminating step, or it is a termination step. Similarly, the chlorine atom that is formed in a first step and chlorine atom that is formed in a third step, right? This chlorine atom that also reacts, chlorine atom from first step and chlorine atom from third step, it leads to formation of a Cl2 molecule. Also, hydrogen atoms, two hydrogen atoms may recombine. It leads to formation of hydrogen molecule also, right? It leads to formation of hydrogen molecules also. These are the terminating steps. Also, this hydrogen reacts with air oxygen, and it leads to formation of H2O radical. See, this H2O radical. This is also a terminating step. See, this step, and see all these 4 steps. These 4 steps are nothing but chain terminating steps. That is called termination. See, this is initiation of our reaction. These 2 steps, these are the propagation of our chain reaction, and these 4 steps are the termination or terminating step of our reaction. So due to those kind of reactions, the quantum yield is very high. Due to absorption of only single photon n number of a chlorine molecule and hydrogen molecule are getting reacted and it leads to formation of HCl. This is a best example of reaction that is having very high quantum yield, right? Now we will discuss the reason behind the low quantum yield. Now see, as we have already discussed, in case of a low quantum yield, what happen? The product that is formed in a primary photochemical reaction means, suppose you just consider this is a primary photochemical reaction. In this case, our formed product is A star, right? What happen? The product that is formed in a primary photochemical reaction emits its energy in the form of light, emits its energy in the form of light, or re-emission of energy takes place, light having same frequency or a lower frequency. This phenomena is called fluorescence, right? This phenomena is called fluorescence. See, due to this fluorescence phenomena, the quantum yield is decreases, even though one photon is absorbed, one quantum is absorbed by one molecule. It leads to formation of a excited state product, but at the excited state, what happens? It emits the same frequency or lower frequency light with formation of a same reactant, right? That phenomena is called fluorescence or emission. Due to this re-emission, quantum yield is decreases, even though one molecule is absorbed, but our reaction is not continued, or we can't get a product. So in that case, quantum yield is low. Also, the recombination of a product is takes place. Means, for example, suppose this AB is our reactant. When it reacts with light H nu, it gives formation of A radical plus B radical, right? So in second step, what happen? This A radical plus B radical is recombines, means they combines with each other, and it leads to formation of our same reactant, that is AB, due to which quantum yield is also decreases. Also, the internal rearrangement or internal conversion is takes place, due to which the quantum yield of our reaction is decreases. Also, the another reason is that, see, the thermal activation or thermal reaction is also takes place, due to which the quantum yield is decreases. The best example of a reaction having low quantum yield as compared to or according to Stark-Einstein's law, the deviation is observed in which the low quantum yield is there. The best example is decomposition of HI or HBr. So decomposition of HI or HBr. HI or HBr's decomposition, it leads to formation of H and I. But this is not a simple mechanism. It has a little bit complex mechanism that we will discuss in the next lecture or next video, right? And also the another example, polymerization of anthracene, right? In that case, in case of a polymerization of anthracene, the quantum yield of our reaction is very low, right? Now, see, again we have to discuss, that is, these are the reasons. Also, some factors are there that are responsible for a low quantum yield. The first factor is temperature, means there are 4 factors that affects or influence the quantum yield of a reaction. First factor is temperature. Second factor is wavelength of light that is used. Third factor is light of intensity of a light. And fourth factor is the presence of inert gas. You just keep in mind, see, if inert gas is present, that is also responsible for a low quantum yield, right? If inert gases are there, that is also responsible for a low quantum yield, right? Now, while discussing the factor, that factor we will discuss in the next video or next lecture. You just keep in mind there are 4 factors: temperature, wavelength, light intensity, and presence of a inert gas. You just keep in mind the quantum yield is directly proportional to temperature, it is inversely proportional to wavelength, it is directly proportional to light intensity, and it is directly proportional to presence of inert gas. That we will discuss in the next lecture. For time being, I want to stop my lecture and I want to discuss some things with you, right? So please, I would like to request you